Hey, 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 what's up, yo? What's up? What's up? So it's your girl Nick, and I'm coming back to you guys with excuse me, I started itching. My bad. That was a little bit too much for y'all. But anyway, coming to y'all with um, a review for BMF, the television series on Stars. Okay? First, I gotta say, I really enjoyed the show. Um, I'm, I have a cousin who was so in love with the show Power that we always talk every Sunday after watching the show at midnight or sometime in the wee hours of the morning. So when he called me on Sunday to discuss Raising Kanan finale, I talked about that, and then he was just like, "All right, so what about BMF?" And I was just like, "Oh, I didn't watch it yet. I hadn't watched it. I was too tired after coming in from the concert to to fully pay attention. So I had to watch it and then watch it again, but." He was telling me some stuff that I didn't realize. I didn't realize the TV show took so long to come out because 50 Cent sent the real Big Meech, who the show is about, sent Big Meech's son, Little Meech, to acting courses for 2 years for him to play his own father, which I thought was really dope, really cool that he's playing his father in this series. Also, I noticed that as I was watching the credits roll when I watched it my second time. It says that one of the producers or co-producers on the show is Terry Flannery Jr. So 50 Cent, and excuse me, I don't know if it was 50 Cent or management from the family or Terry Flannery or his son, whoever did it, but at least his son also got some ownership in the show by being producer or whatever in the show. There's some really good actors in here and everything, but let's get on with the review. So it comes on. There's a picture of the real life Demetrius Flannery and his brother Terrence Flannery. There's a picture of them with with the little caption saying that names and stuff that have been changed, and some stuff has been changed, but some of this stuff may or may not be true. They gotta cover themselves, you know, in case someone wants to come with a lawsuit or whatever. I get it. So the show opens up with it's 2005. We see a guy who's playing Big Meech. He's walking down the street with street clothes on and a floor length fur, mink or whatever on, or some kind of fur. He's walking down the street and he walks up to some guy. I think he called the guy Ro or something like that. Um, the guy lets him know that they having a welcome home, little party kickback or whatever, because people are all outside. For him, he had went upstate to jail for 2 or 3 years, and this is him coming home from jail after doing that 2 or 3 years. And he talks about, he doesn't regret a thing about what happened and what led to him going to jail and where they are right now. They are where they are because of their past experiences. So then we get to the show picks up and goes back to I'm guessing it's the 80s or 1980 or something like that. Uh, the Flannery brothers are in the kitchen of their parents' home. And side note, the show is filmed in the real life childhood home that they grew up in. They using that house to film these scenes of them as kids. I can't quite put my finger on how old they are at this point in the 80s, but um they getting ready. Terry's getting ready for school. Well, they both supposed to be getting ready for school. Terry no, Terry's getting ready for school. Excuse me. It looks like um he's the little brother. And Meech has on a Wendy's shirt or whatever. And I guess he's gonna wear that to school. So or something. I'm not sure if he's going to school or going to work, but they look super young, so he has to be getting ready to try to go to school or something like that. We already see that Terry is very smart. He got a brain for business, and just, you know, planning ahead and thinking about things. But anyway, the father comes in, and the father is played by Russell Hornsberry. I think his name is Hornsberry. This man is, he's one of those unsung actors as well, to me, in my opinion, because I feel like he don't get enough props for his roles. He's a very very good actor. Uh, my first time that I recall seeing him, he was the father on this show called Lincoln Heights that I used to watch back in the day, um, which was really really good. Um, he also was the doctor that Golden Brooks, who played Maya on Girlfriends, he was the doctor that she started seeing in the movie Something New with Sanaa Lathan. Um, he was also in 50 Cent movie Get Rich or Die Trying. He was the one that was going to take over when the old man, played by Bill, I think that's Bill Duke, got old and was going to jail or whatever. He was the one supposed to be taking over, and they strung him up and killed him. And he had like a part in the middle of his head. And he's also the actor. His name is not Herbie. His name is Russell Hornsby. He was also the father on The Hate You Give, and he played in, like, his role was so good on it. He's just a really good actor. But I'm seeing that he's getting typecast because he's always playing a father. But anyway, his name's Charles. The mom's name is Lucille. So Meech is Demetrius, Terry is Terrence, and then they have a little sister named Nicole. So they're getting ready to go out for the day or whatever. Terry says he's hungry. The mom says eat some cereal. He said we need some milk. She tells this boy to use the same milk that's already in the bowl that the brother didn't use for his bowl of cereal that morning. Now listen, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth at all by any means. But and we had some struggles and some hard times growing up. But we have never had such a hard time that I had to eat some cereal out of a bowl and pass my used milk to my sister or a cousin. Because when I was really really small, some of my cousins lived with us as well. It was just a big house with a lot of people in it. But anyway, I have never ever seen that kind of poverty. Okay, and Lord, I thank you that it's never been me. I'm not judging nobody or looking down on anybody for their struggles because we all have our own struggles. But I'm just saying I've never had that level of poverty. Okay, so that happens. The mother apparently got Meech the job at the Wendy's. So they leave the house. Then we see the boys in front of a gas station, Amoco gas station. And this guy rides down the street. And this guy, his name is Pat. He's played by Wood Harris. Wood is also always typecast as playing some kind of gangster or drug dealer. He was Avon Barksdale on The Wire, if you're not familiar. Um, but anyway, he pulls up. They going somewhere called the Rock House. Terry asks, "Can he go?" Pat says he only paid for one. So Demetrius leaves Terry behind and gets in the car with Pat. Pat is obviously hold on for 1 second, y'all. Okay, guys, I'm back. Had to turn down the background noise on the TV. But anyway, so as I was saying, Demetrius pulls off with Pat, basically saying goodbye to Wendy's or whatever it is he was supposed to be doing. And just before he gets in the car with Pat, him and Demetrius, Meech, and Terry says their little slogan that they have to each other. And I think it was see it, touch it, obtain it. CTO. Or, yeah, CTO. STO. See it, touch it, obtain it. Is their little motto that they say back and forth to one another. So he pulls off in the car with Pat. Once he does that, the show picks back up and they're older. They're still teenagers. At this point, Meech is walking around with a chain on, and of course, back in the day, and the guy who had the chain, you already knew he was in the game. Terry's still a school kid or whatever, but he do help his brother out with stuff. He's still doing stuff. So I'm seeing the family dynamic too. The parents look at Terry as the smart golden child, and they dote on him for his brains and his intellect and everything. And they see Meech as the wayward son that's goes against the grain, doesn't follow rules, and been doing his own thing. And I'm quite sure that they realize this boy is out here selling drugs because uh he walks in the house, he has knots of money, he has gold chains on, he got a beeper, and his clothes are flashy, like his little sweatsuits and stuff. It's, you know what I mean? He got the latest gear on. So the parents gotta know, even though they working and stuff like that, and they still struggling, they gotta know that this boy sell drugs. So we pick back up. The boys are outside getting ready to go to the city championship game or whatever. I guess it's a high school championship game. And again, we see how smart Terry is because Terry's the one who decided that they was going to have a meeting with the 12th Street boys. Um, yeah, the 12th Street gang. They're gonna have a meeting with them inside this venue where they're having this citywide tournament in, because with it being a championship game or whatever, it's gonna be cops and metal detectors, so they know that nobody's gonna have any guns or whatever, which was very smart of him. And so they go in. He sees a little, look like another geeky little Asian guy with a duffel bag. Goes to him. He done got the Asian guy to sneak in a little pistol for him, little 22 or whatever it was. And he goes to pick that up from the guy, and then they go to this meeting, wherever they were inside the venue, inside the, I don't know if it's an arena. It looked like it was an arena though, to meet the 12th Street gang. So I forget the name, the leader's name of the 12th Street gang, but they popping in ish about Terry and Meech, and they are known as the 50 Boys, and they from Southwest Detroit. So it's like they showed a map, and it's like three areas, and it was Southwest. What's it called? Esco something Escoport, something like that. And then another area, and I forgot what the name of the other area is, but it's three areas, and they all meet at this one little point together, or whatever. And so Meech and his boys, they've been expanding and going up into the 12th Street gang's territory, and that's what this meeting is about them stop coming up in their territory. So of course the boy is the leader of the 12th Street guys, or the mouthpiece. He's all in their grill and telling them, like, go back to, he calls them the sandbox boys because he knows how young they are. Because at this point, Terry is still in high school. I don't know if he's in 12th grade or not, but he's in high school, has a baby on the way, too. And, excuse me. So, the guy gets a little bit rah-rah. And at this point, Terry pulls out the gun that he got from the guy and shows it. And my sister had me cracking up. I had to make a TikTok of her yesterday, doing like Terry pulling out that gun, like he kept doing like this. Hilarious, hilarious. But anyway, one of the guys in the 12th Street gang, he's always typecast too. He was, I think he was on a reality show trying to be a rapper at one point, but he also was Ant's homeboy that got Ant into the drug game with his older cousin in ATL. I don't know what his name is, but he always played the same kind of character. All right, so they have that meeting. Um, Terry pulls out the gun, and because Terry pulls out the gun, that's when Meech concedes and like to make it right, because at first he wasn't going, leave their territory alone. He was going to keep doing what he wanted to do, but after Terry pulled out that gun, he was just like, all right, you know what? Go ahead. We'll give y'all the territory back. We out of here, you know. it's not gonna be an issue. And the guy still popping shit, saying that, you know, get control of Terry or whatever, your little baby brother here, and all this other stuff. So they leave that meeting, and they basically, it looks like they went home. Um, it's a scene of them in their room because they still sharing rooms. Meech fusses at Terry about having a gun, number one, and then you brought it in his house. Like, you got to get that gun out of here, because if our mother come and discover that gun, she gonna think it was mine. She's not gonna believe it was yours, and it's gonna be my ass on the line for it. Fast forward, they sit at the table, they have dinner as a family, which I thought was cool. And like I said, Meech comes to dinner with a beeper and a gold chain. The father says, "You know how to dress at my table," so he makes them take that gold chain off. They say grace, and they do sit there and eat as a family. And the mother is asking Terry about the baby that's on the way and him getting a job to help take care of that baby or whatever. Um, the little sister mentions that she has a school trip coming up she wants to go on. The mom says they'll talk about it later. Meech offers to pay for her to go on the trip. Um, The father says no, they don't want his money. So obviously they already know he out there in the game or whatever. But they still allow him to stay in the house. So anyway, fast forward, I think we come to, there's a scene at school. Terry's in class. I believe from the subject matter, the things that they're talking about, this must be like an economics class, all right? So as one guy answers the teacher's question about supply and demand, or no, it wasn't about supply and demand. They were talking about the going to school for a few more years to make your chances for getting a better, like obtaining a degree to get a better job versus dropping out or graduating high school and going straight into the workforce or whatever, and getting a menial job versus getting a better job because you got a degree. So this boy keeps coming at Terry about, because you got a mouth to feed, you got to learn how to pull out and all this. And him and Terry goes back and forth a bit until Terry gets tired of it. He stands up and he's ready to swing on the guy, and the teacher put Terry out the class but let the guy stay in the class, and I don't get that. And then when he let the guy stay in the class, the guy homeboy said, "It's okay. We're gonna get at him on Friday." I heard that little part. Then we get, the scenes might be out of order. I'm just going by the scene, off the top of my head from what I just watched. Alright, so there's a guy named Lamar. I forgot what his last name is, but this guy shows up to some eatery. He wants a loose burger, whatever that is. New person there said, "We don't sell loose burgers anymore. We stopped selling it." He got mad, smashed the boy head against the counter of the store, and told him, "Lamar just touched down. I'm back in town, such and such." Pan over, we see two of the guys from the leader and the guy that played the ATL. We see them two sitting inside this eatery, whatever this eatery was, or whatever, fast food restaurant. Um, they see Lamar and they laugh. So apparently, Lamar is a guy. He's known for being wild and unpredictable and crazy. He was running all three of those territories that they talked about. Southwest, it's called Esco. That's what it was called. Esco Park. Southwest Esco Park. And I forgot the other place. Again, I didn't forgot the name of the other area. But Lamar was running all three of them. And he done did a bid. And we find out by the end of the episode, Lamar then did a bid for about 2 or 3 years, and he's went to a mental institution for a few years too. But I'm not sure which one he's just coming home from at this point. Um, but he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. We see throughout this episode. Um, Meech comes home one day after having a meeting with Pat. Pat heard about him letting those 12th Street gang boys step on his toes and make him concede and give up his territories or whatever. And he was like, the wolves and stuff is out here. Like, you gotta stay in your ground. And Lamar then came home too, and he gonna be trying to get back in the game as well. Like, you can't just concede all the time. You like can't let people step on your toes, young buck. You gotta do what you gotta do, or whatever. Which is what Terry was trying to tell him. But of course, he want to do things his way. He want to. We already see Meech want to run things like the mafia. Like he want everybody to get along and it be levels to it. You know what I mean? Like it be a big family or whatever. We can see that's what his goal is. And anyway, he goes home and the parents are sitting there saying they need to have a talk. He sits down. The father uncovers the gun. The mother went to do laundry and she found that damn gun. And before they even question the other son, they just automatically assume that Meech brought that gun into their house. He don't give up his brother. He takes the rap and he said he'd get out. And he tells the father that's why the mortgage is past due, the house in foreclosure and stuff. And the father looking like, what? Because he's from the old school where I go to work, make the money, I give the check, I bring home my check to my wife, and my wife gonna handle the finances and take care of bills. But she got behind on the mortgage or whatever. So he tried to get him a lot of money, to catch up on the mortgage to pay it. He grabbed his son and put him in, Charles grabs Meech, put him in the headlock and told him, don't you ever raise your fist at me again, boy, and all that. Tell him he can't be in his house. So the fact that he's a drug dealer, and you know he's a drug dealer, because you see all the signs, you don't put him out for that. You put him out because you assume that the gun that your wife found is his. And it's always like that in it's like that in almost all black families. Like the kid that the parents dote on that they think is so well shows to be academically smart in school and stuff, they get away with so much shit because the parents just don't see them for who they truly are. They can get away with so much stuff, and the one that's the wayward child, they just always assume that that child is the one who's done this or brought this or so forth into their home, and it don't be that all the time. It really don't. Um, and at this point, I did feel bad for Meech. So Meech leaves the house and goes. We pick up to the scene with him and his woman, his lady that he's screwing. So Meech apparently likes older women because at this point, like I said, Terry is in high school. I'm not sure if he's in 11th or 12th, but Meech then dropped out years ago. It's working with Pat. He didn't dropped out of high school, or whatever. So Meech is in the bed with his lady friend. It's a sex scene, and it's Cash Doll playing his lady friend. I think her name is Mo. I think her character's name is Mo. And side note, what I thought was so freaking cute. Last week I saw on the Shade Room video of her at the premiere of the show, and she had this cute black dress on. Her friend or her man, boyfriend, whatever he is, was recording her. And even though she had on black, I saw a baby bump. I said, "Oh, look at her! She looks so cute." And then I went to her page and saw the maternity shot, and she's actually pregnant. I was like, "Oh, happy for her! Congratulations, girl!" And then yesterday, yeah, yesterday, I saw this little video of which was so cute to me at the premiere when her scene came on. She had her mom at the premiere with her. She tried to cover her mom's eyes because she didn't want her mom seeing her. Because it is awkward. Your mom seeing you do a sex scene in a show or a movie or whatever, right? So she tried to cover her mom's eyes. And the mom was like, "Move, girl. I'm trying to see if you got moves like your mama." I was cracking up. I thought it was so, so cute or whatever. So anyway, side note over. Back to the show. So they have sex. Um, she says he tells her he needed that or whatever, to comfort her comfort or whatever after he went through what he went through at home. And she was saying, I just don't understand why you still stay in the house with them because it's always fighting over there. Basically, she's basically saying that it's like a toxic household. It's always fighting and fussing, carrying on going on over there or whatever. So she was like, let me go get a warm towel to clean you up. And it's clearly, I'm thinking he must be about 19 years old at this point. And I'm thinking she's an older woman because she said she's going to go clean him up. He says he's going to use the phone because he just got a page about something. She's She leaves the room. She hears a knock at the door. It's fucking crazy, Lamar. Apparently, she got a baby, and the mother did mention that child when they were sitting there having dinner, saying that she wanted to see her. You know, she don't bring the child around to see her like that. It's crazy, Lamar at the door. He just pops up over her house. Apparently, she was his girlfriend at first, and now since he went to jail, she stopped visiting him, and she started messing with Meech, who's clearly younger than Lamar. Um, he wants to see who he believes to be their daughter. The child's name is Zoe. She said she told him years ago that that ain't his daughter. And he was like, I've been in her life every day since day one. And he gives her a little gold bracelet for the little girl, whatever. And you could tell he really got feelings for Mo and Zoe or whatever. So she said, you know, that she's not your daughter or whatever. So she told him good night and shut the door in his face. He sits in the car listening to Houdini One Love. She walks Meech to the door. Meech leaves out. He turns the car on and tries to run Meech over. And said next time he won't miss. Saying he missed on purpose. He just nicked him or whatever. Made him flip over the car. And he won't miss the next time. I'm like, what the fuck? Because in his mind, that's his girl, always going to be his girl, whatever. I said, this nigga's really, really crazy. So anyway, that happens. Um, Meech goes home, back to the house. He's trying to get, you know, some clothes and things. And he has a conversation with his mom. And he still tries to give her money to pay, to get caught up on the mortgage for the house. And she still won't accept it. She gives him some speech about, you know, being a parent and watching your kids make mistakes or whatever. So she still won't accept his drug money or whatever. Um, he gets whatever and he leaves. We see a scene too with the parents. Lucille, who's the mother, she's in there washing dishes, right? And the husband comes in and his name's Charles. And he's like, you know, let's talk about this mortgage, this foreclosure. So he asks how did they get behind. So she explains to him how things got behind, how she tried to pick up and think she was going to catch up. And then the car broke down, all this other stuff that led to them being behind on the mortgage. And then we get this beautiful representation of black love from an older couple. You know what I mean? And I really, really loved it. Um, he picks her up and picks her up, kisses her, and carries her back to their room, I guess. And I thought it was just so beautiful. Like, because you always see these shows, you see the young folk or the young people, you know, doing their thing or whatever sexually, but you don't really get to see the older people. And I thought this was a beautiful representation of a black couple, um, you know, being loving and showing affection and intimacy without them showing us too much. Like that, him picking her up and kissing her and everything, that was enough. That, you know what I mean? It ain't have to go further than that. So the show picks up again with Terry goes to the baby shower for his baby mother, girlfriend or whatever. Oh God, that head dude, the blonde with the bangs and the crimps. Oh, that shit looked like a goddamn helmet, but it was fly back in the day. You was hot shit with that hairstyle back in the day. But he tells her he not staying for the whole baby shower. He was looking for his mother, his sister to come, but we never see them end up at the baby shower. We see Meech and Terry go and pull up to Pat having a bit. Pat is the supplier who Meech works for. We see them go and pull up to Pat's party, which is later that week. Um, At Pat's party, we see Lamar at the party. We see the 12th Street Boys at the party. And we also see the boy and his clique from Terry class at school, okay? So we see the leader of the 12th Street Boys buy Lamar a double shot. And they tell Lamar uh send Meech and Terry, the 50th Street Boys. Send them a glass of milk, a shot of milk. Like, to play on the fact that they the youngest people out here in the game or whatever. And they don't like them, of course, because they came into that. They was encroaching on their territory. Something I forgot to mention, they had a meeting in the park, the 50th Street Boys, which is Terry and Meech's crew. They had a meeting in the park with their distributors and stuff, their whole little crew. So it's a bunch of guys and one girl. The one girl is played by, her name's Kato. Okay, guys, I'm back. My sister was coming down making noise, and I didn't want her noise or her to say something crazy because she's reckless out of the mouth. But anyway, as I was saying, the 50th Street, which is Meech and Terry's crew, they had a meeting in this park. I forgot what the name of the park was, but they had a meeting with their crew. Their crew consists of all guys except for one female. The female's name is Kato, and she's played by the actress who played young Cookie Lyons on Empire, and she also played the young Taraji character in Acrimony too. Her name is pronounced, I don't know how her name's pronounced. It's spelled like it's pronounced Agiana or Agiana or Agina or something like that. I'm not sure. Also, guess who is part of their crew? Right, y'all remember Lil Zane from the little the rap on What's My Song Anyway. We can hit let you know a nigga miss you one out of two. Him, Lil Zane. He playing in this. He's one of the guys in the crew in the 50th Street crew. 50th Street Boys or whatever. And they call it the 50 because they sell their stuff in packs of 50 or whatever. But at this meeting, they learned that Kato been doing a really deep discount on drugs. She was like the product wasn't moving, nobody was buying anything or whatever. And she gave a discount so she can get rid of the product, like so she could sell it or whatever. And Terry thought that what she did was a good idea, was very smart, but of course Meech didn't like it. I guess in his mind it makes him look like he was being undermined, and you don't have no business changing and slashing prices without my okay or whatever. So we see they go to what I guess is the trap house. They decide that they're gonna go back out to Esco Park, I think it was. They're gonna get up with this crackhead named Peaches, because Peaches got the biggest mouth, and all the other crackheads look up to Peaches, I guess. So if they give her their product, and she talk about it to the other ones, that's how they can drum up some business. So we see Terry, Meech, and the boy, I don't recall his name. He had a fade, but this boy also played on Queen Sugar. He played Ant on Queen Sugar. He was one of Micah's friends, and he got arrested and charged for the arson when they started that fire at that plantation or whatever. And he played young Ronnie in the New Edition story too. But anyway, those three with Run DMC playing in the background, they cook up the crack or whatever. They cook up the crack. We see them take it to Peaches, watch her smoke, and she gives them the okay signal. Side note, I gotta take these cornrows out my head. It's about raggedy. But it's gonna have to be Thursday or Friday when I take these out. But anyway, because I gotta go to the office tomorrow. Um, she gives them the okay. So they decided, all right, we're gonna do it like this. We got a good product. We stepped on it a little bit and stretched it, and we're gonna this how we're gonna do it like this or whatever. So we see when they was in the park at that meeting, they was in the park. This lady played by, I think her name is Coco Jones. She started out as a comedian, but I've seen her doing more dramatic roles lately. She was in Single Moms Club. She was the one who Tyler Perry's movie. She was the one who was liking Terry Crews' character, or his character liked her, and they was smacking each other and all that. She got kind of like, to me, she got like a smoker's voice. Like she looked like she a smoker. Her voice sounded like somebody. I don't know. I have weird tendencies like that, or little quirky things where to me, things, my descriptions of things is off a little bit. But to me, she sounds like she's a smoker. But she used to be a comedian. She doing more dramatic roles because when I used to watch 911, she was on there. She was in the first season. She was the 911 operator with the red hair that left the show after the first season. She took care of that lady's mother on there. She has big poppy eyes, brown skin, short lady. But her character's name is Miss Griffin. She must run the wreck in that park where they was meeting up at, and she didn't want them over there. So she said Meech tried to tell her that he trying to get some people together to, get a little game going or whatever, get a little league going. She said, no, I know. She know what the hell they about. She's not trying to have that in her park. So she walks off. We see Meech go up to this coach, played by Steve Harris. And if y'all don't know, Steve Harris and Wood Harris, the actor, are brothers. Steve is the older brother of Wood. Steve been around since they're going, what's that movie I like? Oh my God, I can't believe Sugar Hill. Steve played in Sugar Hill. He got killed. They strung him up. He was like Wesley Snipes' main man in the movie Sugar Hill. If you never seen it, go check it out. That's another black cinema that needs to be seen. But it was a really good movie. But Steve Harris, he a cold piece. Like he played asshole so good. I only can recall one movie where I saw him play uh, a decent, like regular man, and that was when he played the pastor. And he played the pastor in a movie. The movie, I think it was a book, and then they actually made a movie out of it, and it came on probably on one of those other channels like that. But and y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all where y'all remember him from. He was Charles on Diary of a mad, what is it? Diary of a Mad Black Woman or Diary of an Angry Black Woman or something like that by Tyler Perry. Remember when she pushed him in that fucking water and he was in there with them bubbles like, ooh. I'm sorry, y'all. That just came to mind. But him and Wood are Harris are brothers. He's the older brother, and it's always, why is it the older brother always, oldest child is always shorter than the next in line child, like the middle child or the second child or whatever. Cause I'm the shortest out of my mom's three girls. My dad has a son and a daughter. And no, my sister is actually a little bit shorter than me on my dad's side, but I noticed that all the time. The older child is always shorter than the next in line child. But anyway, back to the show. So Meech goes to him and talks to him, and he's talking in code about the dugout, what area he need to be able to sell his drugs in that park. So we see at some point, we see him. I don't know what his name is. I'm just gonna call him Coach for right now. We see him pull over Miss Griffin. Y'all remember Miss Griffin? She must run the wreck in the park and everything. He pulls her over and tells her he found drugs or something. Like he makes an excuse to pull her over so he can say what he need to say. So basically, leave Meech and them alone and let them do what they doing. Look the other way, or I'm gonna plant a case against your son, and her son must be talented at whatever sport he plays, and he's saying that he gonna make it so that the boy can't get a drug case and won't Okay, I was rudely interrupted by my sister coming down. So anyway, back to the story. I think I left off with Steve Harris' character. So he threatens Miss Griffin with Griffin or Griffith, I forget what it is. And again, please excuse the noise you hear in the background. Like I said, it's construction going on and stuff like that. And I think that's what it is. Or even somebody's doing yard work in the middle of the day. But anyway, he tells her that he gonna put a case on her son if she don't back up off the 50th Street boys, which is Meech and them. and turn a blind eye to what they doing in the park. Also, I noticed I didn't mention when they were at Pat's party, they over Meech and Terry chilling with Pat, chopping it up or whatever, wearing Sunday's best, their best outfit or whatever. And we see the boys from the school come to Pat party too. Remember, the light skinned boy in the classroom said we'd get at him on Friday, which was the day of Pat's party. I'm guessing. Um, they approach with the, on that same bullshit, but I don't understand. Like, what is it with this kid and Terry? Like, he like for you to just throw out there about him getting the girl pregnant in class and he need to get a job to take care of that baby. He must be their girl ex-boyfriend or somebody who always had a torch, carrying the torch for the girl, and the girl didn't give him no rap and, got with Terry or whatever or something like that. It got to be something like that. So anyway, he approached him and his crew approached Terry at Pat's party, and of course it gets broken up, and they don't do nothing or whatever. They left it at that. Um, After we see Coach say what he says to Miss Griffith and all that kind of stuff like that, we then get to Meech gets a phone call or a page, and he Meech and Terry they was doing something. They get a call. They rush to the hospital, and we see Terry's girlfriend has had the baby. They never said what the baby's sex was or what the name of the child was. But we see their family there. We don't see her family. We see the girl, we see Terry, we see Nicole, and we see Charles and Lucille and Meech. And Meech makes a little joke about the baby looking like looking like his father, who looks like his father, but for him, meaning like looking good like his father, and the father be for him like giving props to their father Charles. And then they make a joke about the feet. The mother said something about the feet, and it was so cute because it's like it was cute in a way, but also made me pause because the mother make a joke about the feet. Obviously, that the Flannery man got them big feet, and you know what the the saying about man got big feet, mean he got big penis or whatever. And I guess that's what she was alluding to when she said that. And the daughter off in the corner, like, what that mean, Mama? Big feet. And I'm thinking to myself, you don't know that. I'm not sure how old this daughter is supposed to be. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be middle school age or if she's supposed to be early high school age, which would be between the ages of 13 and 15. But she obviously knows that her brother's out here in the game selling drugs. But she clueless as to what it means to have big feet or whatever, what the saying is about the big feet and the penises and stuff. So that threw me off like, what? Like, you know this, but you don't know this. Okay. So anyway, they have the baby. We see Terry is at the girlfriend's house when they finally get to go home with the baby. Um, they in the house, and he says he need to go and go out to the car, get the pacifier, something he's supposed to get. And for some odd reason, I said something about to fucking happen. Before he even left to go out that door, I said something going to happen because he was supposed to leave. I know what it was. He was supposed to go meet Meech, and they were supposed to be having a meeting with somebody. I forgot who it was, but they were supposed to be having a business meeting with somebody. I'm not sure if it was Pat or the coach or who, but it was somebody they was having a meeting with. And he was supposed to go meet Meech. He leaves out, and he in the car, like in the floor, because he knocked something down or dropped something. He looking, and you kind of see the shadow, and it's kind of like it's not sharp and clear, so you can see exactly who it is. But somebody comes and fucking shoots that boy. When he looks up from getting whatever it was on the floor, he look up, and they right there with the gun. They shoot him in his fucking eye. They shoot him in his eye, and it goes off. And then we see the previews for the second episode where they're going to be at the hospital. Meech going to come to the hospital. The mother blaming Meech for Terry getting shot and everything because in their eyes, Terry's the good son. He's academically inclined. He's very smart. And he's not into that life. Only Meech is the wayward child that's out here selling drugs. They don't think Terry have anything to do with it. But she do say that she does have, when they had that conversation in the house and he tried to pay that back mortgage or whatever, all the money that she owed on the house, she did say, I need you to set a better example for your brother because he don't listen to us, but he follow everything that you do. So she knows that, in her mind, Terry's easily influenced by Meech. She don't realize Terry has his own mind, and he's so freaking smart. And he's in life with his brother. It's not the brother leading him. It's him trying to tell the brother a better way of doing things. But, of course, Meech got his own mind about how he want to do things. So the mother, in her mind, she still think Terry is innocent. That's how the mothers be, boy. They be swearing their sons don't do nothing. Nothing, okay? But, I just want to tell y'all, this was a good episode. I'm here for the ride. I tell you, 50 Cent must have some kind of ownership in Stars at this point because it is him and his shows that's bringing them these subscriptions. Okay? They keeping the network alive, okay, with their shows. It started with Power, and then now with the Power Book 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now in this BMF, people are never getting rid of Power because it's like one power go off, another power come on. You know what I'm saying? So if they not giving 50 Cent no money, they damn sure they should. He should have some kind of ownership in the streaming, and Stars, network because he single handedly keeping people subscribed to the network. But anyway, this is my review for BMF. Tell me how y'all liked it. I tried to make it short, but I got to talking and going off on a rampage on different things and all that kind of stuff. So, it's long. It's a long video. The show was long too, though. I think it was over an hour. I think it was an hour and 15 minutes. That's what it seemed like to me, because it seemed like it was so much going on in one episode. But it was good. Who do y'all think is the person who shot Terry? Do y'all think it was Lamar? Do you think it was the 12th Street Boys? Or do you think it was the boy from school that's jealous of Terry? Who do you think? I don't think it's Lamar. I personally think it's either the 12th Street Boys or the boy from class. But let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Please click the like button. Let's discuss the show in the comments. Please click subscribe to this channel. And also, don't forget to be kind. Because it's more important to be kind than to be looking good. Like, you can present yourself well all day. But if you got a nasty aura, attitude, disposition, you won't get far. Okay? So, let's all try to show one another the same love we expect everyone to show us. Be good, y'all. Peace.